Welcome back to the Touchdown channel. Thanks for being with us. It is the month of December, the month for Clan MacQueen. We're concentrating on MacQueen during December and learning all we can. And to that end, I've been reading about a fine doctor and a very dedicated medical man, beginning during the First World War and during the whole half of that century. Let's hear about this incredible MacQueen clansman. Dr. John MacQueen was an extremely determined physician, saving and improving countless lives in what we in the U.S. would today call the Middle East. This was during the first half of the previous century. Born in Scotland in the Black Isle, he graduated with a degree in medicine and surgery from the University of Edinburgh in 1914. And with World War I just about getting underway, MacQueen joined the Royal Field Artillery. He found himself serving in France and Flanders as a second lieutenant. And it seems that soon after this, his medical training was recognized, as the next stop for him was as a captain with the Royal Marine Medical Corps in what became known as the Mesopotamian Campaign. In this theater of the war, the Ottomans opposed the British and their imperial allies. Just following the war, much reconstruction and administration of the area known as the Levant was taking place, repercussions of which are still being seen today, in my opinion. Boundaries were being redrawn. The entire area was not as it had ever been and never will be again. I think we all know that. In 1919, MacQueen was stationed first in Palestine and then became the second-in-command medical officer in Jerusalem itself. Infant mortality was then at an alarming problem, with some 20% not surviving. In response, MacQueen's office in Palestine, the Palestinian Medical Administration, opened some of the first hospitals specifically designed to deal with this problem, and eventually over 24 such clinics were opened. As the Haifa, Israel officer of medicine, he kept careful control of travelers and quarantine issues, very important during those times, as many diseases were running rampant. Bubonic plague was among them. At one point in his career, he made the decision and supervised the tearing down and burning of a great many thousands of huts and tents surrounding Haifa in an effort to eradicate both the rats and their accompanying fleas. Working in such a volatile region, while remaining true to his Hippocratic oath, Dr. MacQueen came up with a proposal to provide health insurance to the countless Arab villages who were under British administration. This was cut short, however, by a violent uprising against the forced military rule. That was in 1936. For another decade, until his retirement in 1946, John MacQueen fought for more doctors to be funded and pointed out the glaring lack of mental hospitals in Palestine and the surrounding sub-states, usually to no avail, as World War II had overshadowed and ultimately overwhelmed each and every other issue of those years. So yes, I hope you enjoyed that. He was quite a guy. There's an awful lot of clans people like this behind the scenes, right? We hear about the military, the soldiers, the battles, and that kind of thing. But there's many, many people in many professions throughout the world and many of our clans that have made so many contributions. And I'll try to find as many of them as we can. They're to be celebrated just as well as anyone else is, in my opinion. All right, so thanks for being with us on the Touchdown channel. Please subscribe. Touchdown, my friends.